Díomh Accorda go léir agus tá fáilte go dtí an rag, and I'm delighted to be here in the rag with James. I'm delighted to be here. James, how are you?
Good now, Ron. How are you?
We're delighted here because we're obviously looking forward to the Seamus O'Rian Group 4 Round 1 clash between Cashel King Cormacs and Portroe. James Barry, of course, All-Ireland winner, senior and under 21. Delighted to have you with us, James. It's a really evenly matched game. I think we were talking off air and trying to suggest what might happen. I don't think either of us know.
No, it's tough because these two teams don't really play each other that often, so it's hard to go on previous meetings. It should be a tight enough affair. The weather is perfect. There's no wind. There's no real heavy sunshine, so it should be a good old game here. Yeah,
it will be a good old game, and people are keen to get out, see games again. It's a good sod here in Drum. You're expecting a lively encounter. Both teams, they've had mixed fortunes. Cashel got to a West final. Clonalty always had a bit of much for them, but Portroe only had one game in the North Championship.
Yeah, Portroe, it's hard. We don't have much to go on with Portroe this year, but obviously Cashel, with the few new names they have this year, seem to be on a bit of a roll, so they will probably start sharp. But we don't seem to have much to go on Portroe, but Portroe will be used to the North Hurling, which is a tough old championship to play in, so they'll bring a lot of that grit with them today.
Maybe that's a point, that the North Championship leaves people more battle hardened than the West Championship, with all due respects to the West.
Yeah, I do think the North is very competitive. You've kind of 12 teams up there that they'll all fancy their chances to win a North final. So I do think Port will come now with a lot from playing that championship over the years, and obviously Cashel, with the new players mixed in, that they're probably still finding their feet with the new names, so it's hard to know what Cashel will come with meeting the likes of Portroe.
It's not that long ago that Portroe won the North, and I mean the village went crazy for it. They loved it. I mean, because there was no North senior title in the village, or no North medal in the village until that was delivered. Yeah,
and there's a good history of hurling there in Portroe, obviously with Liam Sheedy there and the likes of Darren Gleeson. They have good hurling men there. They're a good hurling parish, so they will fancy their chances here coming today, even though Cashel similarly will fancy their chances in this one.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now, there are some injury concerns from a Cashel point of view, and people will know Ger Brown very well. His hamstring is heavily strapped after that West final. There was a bit of a fitness test done on him there in the last 10 minutes. He does start, but he's going to be heavily strapped.
Yeah, obviously.
And he's gone into the corner as well, by the way.
Yeah, I think inside in the corner, Joe was obviously a big name with Tipp there a couple of years ago, and Joe probably doesn't need to do much running with the ball. Like, if he gets the ball in his hand, a score will probably come about it. So if Cashel can get Joe enough ball, that's a big plus to Cashel get over the line here today.
I'm a big fan of Owen Connolly, and I think a lot of our listeners are fans of Owen Connolly, and we look forward to him having a long career with Tipp. He's a year or two off perhaps the senior inter-county standard, but he's somebody that I think has all the hallmarks of a senior player.
No, yeah, Owen has come up along the ranks for the last couple of years, so I definitely think we will see Owen in a Tipperary jersey for the next couple of years. I think today he's gone inside full forward because I think he is stitched on his hand from the West final, but so you have Ger Brown and Owen Connolly inside in the full forward line, which is a fairly strong full forward line for Cashel. So we will definitely see Owen Tipp over the next couple of years, so it'll be interesting to see what he does today above full forward.
A big welcome to our listeners on Tipp FM. This is a streaming service and a Tipp FM co-broadcast, so you're all very welcome on Tipp FM, as well as those of you who are watching us on the Tipperary County Board streaming service. This is the Seamus O'Rian Group 4 Round 1. Interestingly, just in front of us are a couple of representatives from St Mary's. They were out in this group today. It's a 4-team group. Dara, who got to the final of the Seamus O'Rian last year, were beaten by St Mary's in the first round this morning. Tom McGrath is constantly telling us on extra time, you got to win your first game in county championships.
Yeah, with this new format of the 4 teams and 2 getting through, it takes a lot of pressure off if you get through your first game. Or my own club up to Sherman were playing last night against Ennacarty and we just fell short by a point, so again it kind of puts us under pressure in that group. So
you're a difficult group there, haven't you?
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier now. We've Drum and Stars in the next 2 games. We've Drum now.
Were you surprised by the margin Stars beat Drum by?
Well, no, not really. Stars, we played Stars there in the mid-championship a couple of weeks ago, and they do look sharp. They have a new management there, Dowling from Kilkenny, who seems to have done a fairly good job with them.
They look good against Lockmore as well.
Yeah, they look sharp. I think they have Paddy Maher back there, full-back, and they're running at 6, so if you put them in any club team, it's going to make it fairly strong.
And they bring off Pat Burke and he knocks over points.
Yeah, no, Stars are always no matter what name Stars have, they're going to be in contention for the county final, so they have started fairly well this year.
Let's talk about Portroe. I mean, people will know Robert Byrne. He's somebody that you have been in a squad with as well. He's a very accomplished player. Sometimes he can perhaps be a little over enthusiastic. He plays at 6 for his club, a more than competent hurler.
Yeah, Robert plays on the edge. Even though you want that from your backline. Even though Robert's well able to hurl as well, it's not just all hard with him. He is well able to hurl, so he'll be a big player for them now at 6. Obviously, trying to stop the flow ball going into the likes of Owen and Jaron inside the full forward line. So Portroe will need Robert to have a big performance today if they're to go over the line.
The multi-talented Kevin O'Halloran. He's a fine soccer player. He's a fine footballer, and he's well able to hurl.
Well, Robert's a very Kevin's a very good hurler actually. Yeah. So Portroe from playing in the North Championship are going to be very competitive. They obviously don't have maybe as many big names as Cashel would have today, but they have John Sheedy. I played minor with John back in 2007, so John's well able to take his score as well. So Portroe definitely have enough names there to put up a big score if they want to.
Maybe the fact that they don't have the household names indicates a settled side, because there was a number of additions, well documented additions into Cashel this year. So, Portroe have been playing perhaps as a cohesive unit for a number of years. How important is that for a club?
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, Cashel done well in the West, but Portroe, they probably have the same bunch of players training for the last couple of years, so they're well grounded and they know each other that way, sort of way. So and again, as I said, we keep referring back to the North Championship. Portroe are going to be well grafted and hardy coming into this, so it is going to be interesting. This is going to be a step up from what Cashel have played probably in the West, so it's going to be interesting to see how they react to a hardened Portroe team.
Yeah, I mean, 2 teams come out of this group. It's a bit of a, Cashel looking at it, and Laura. Because Laura got out of the group last year and because Laura got to a final, that result from this morning does change things ever so slightly.
It does, yeah, and obviously Laura were without Bonner, which is obviously a huge driving force for them over the last couple of years. But
is that a massive loss? So it is.
A huge, especially club level. Obviously Bonner's a massive loss to Tipp anyway, so even put it at club level, he does twice as much. But it does it'll put a huge pressure off whatever team comes through today to actually. Because I think winners play winners, so whoever comes through today will be playing the same areas now in 2 weeks' time. Yeah,
it's really interesting. Yeah, as we're just about getting ready to go here in the RAG for the first round of Group 4 of the Seamus O'Reen between Cashel King Cormacs and Portroe. Both teams, now there are a number of changes to how they were supposed to line up. The positional changes all over the place. For example, Owen Connolly is going to go in full forward. He has an injury. He's 8 stitches in his finger. He's able to line out. Ger Brown, as I've already told you, is heavily strapped, but he lines out and the ball is thrown in and the game is on, and Portroe get the game underway, lose possession quickly, and it comes out to this side over towards Brian Keating, and Cashel tried to come forward through James Cummins. Ball gone in right into the full forward line, but caught well, and a chance now for Portroe to come away with it through Damien Boyle. Damien Boyle played forward up towards Jack Maloney. Jack Maloney back to his goalkeeper as they play around with it and try and short puck out, try and get some possession. But they do enough to win a free, and the opening free of the game, as Portroe just looked a little uncertain as to how best to clear that ball. Your former full-back, you might tell us what you think of that.
Yeah, I do think that the 2 names gone now full forward for Cashel is after putting priority pressure on Portroe. That's 2 big massive names for Cashel inside with Ger and Owen inside the full forward line, so it'll be interesting to see now how Port reacts to that.
Yeah, it's interesting because you've got Owen and Ger Brown in there, but Port have that chance now to clear their lines, which they do, and the ball dropping down around the 45 metre line, but Cashel win that possession and come through with James Cummins. He's over carried, and that is going to be a free in to Port, and perhaps the first scoring opportunity of this afternoon's encounter here in the RAG, as it looks like Kevin O'Halloran maybe over on that far side who might fancy it, but no, it looks more like AJ Willis is standing over this, or actually it's number 11 John Sheedy, yeah, takes it, fires it in and fires it over the bar for the opening score for Portroe inside the opening 2 minutes of this game. A fine shot there from John Sheedy.
No, it's a handy score to get. It's a handy free taker. All free takers wanted an easy free to start with, so it was a handy one for John to start with.
So Cashel come on the attack over on the far side of the pitch here. Good opportunity now from Ross Bonner as he plays the ball forward, looking to see who's inside, and the shot comes in, and the shot well done, and Ger Brown opens his account for Cashel King Cormacs in the Seamus O'Reen with a fine score.
Yeah, I know Ger's hamstring is at him, but Ger isn't going to need much running now. Anytime he gets the ball in his hand, it's more likely going to be a score.
Ball from the puck out, long puck out this stage. Cashel defend well and have a chance to clear the ball forward in around the midfield here as Cashel come forward. Good chance here now as Cashel coming forward. Chance here. Looks like it looked good for me from where I'm sitting, but it's gone to the right and wide.
No Hawkeye here, unfortunately, Ronan.
Huh?
No Hawkeye here, unfortunately.
No Hawkeye here, yeah, but the umpire looked pretty certain of what he saw. Another long puck out from Portroe, landing down on top there of AJ Willis. Shot coming in as Portroe stay on the attack. Cashel defending stoutly. Over with Paddy O'Donoghue, who's in the side today as a result of some changes that Cashel have had to make. still harrying and hustling, and that ball's gone out over the sideline over on the far side of the field. Good defending there by the forwards.
Yeah, even though the Cashel backline looked here on the field, they look like a strong unit, so they seem fairly comfortable for the first few balls after getting there. So they do look like a fairly strong bunch back there.
So it's a point apiece here inside the opening 5 minutes of this game here in the Rag. Ball cut there and not cut far enough. An opportunity here for Port as they go on the attack. Good opportunity here. Ball squared over to this side, and there's a chance as Port go on the attack, and it's in the back of the net. A fine score by number 17 for Portroe, Rudon Mulrooney.
No, that was great vision even coming across there by number 9 for Portroe. So that was an unbelievable score taken there by Portroe.
Yeah, fine score there by Mulrooney. Now is a real opportunity now for Portroe to try and build on this as the ball cut forward again, as the ball going in towards the full back line, but they look like that's gone too far and it'll go out over the sideline for a puck out and over the end line. So game thick and fast. I mean, there's no pausing here.
There's not much rest here, and that'll settle Portroe now. Getting a goal early is always good for a club team, so that was a well-worked score as well.
Yeah, so that's a late addition to the Portroe team there, number 17, Rudon Mulrooney, who scored that goal for Portroe. Well worked, and they didn't panic either as that ball, when it was played in to Anthony Burke. Anyway, Cashel pucked out again, and it comes to Ger Brown. Ger Brown tussling with it there and leaves it, and coming through for Cashel is Con Bonner, and Con Bonner, that's a fine shot that goes in, but it's gone to the right and wide, and that's the second wide for Cashel. But there's no pausing here as Port comes straight on the attack. They seem to think that a fast ball into the forward line is going to pay dividends for them today, and so it does. James Cummins for Cashel has it. He plays the ball up along the sideline here, but to nobody in particular, and Port have plenty of time to clear that ball. Good play inside there towards Conor O'Brien. Conor O'Brien plays that ball from a long way out, but it's going to fall short and into the grateful hands of Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown with plenty of time, and he launches a high one in deep into the full forward line, but the referee sees some pushing and shoving, and he's going to give a free in. It was basically trying to put it down on top of his brother's head.
Yeah, it's a good long puck there by Aaron, and obviously you can see Cashel's plan is more or less to go direct, where you can see Port is more of a short game, trying to work it up through the lines. That attempt there a bit short by John Sheedy, but two very different styles of play here so far.
But it's the speed at which Port seem to want to play the game at, it's quite interesting as fastball into the forwards.
Yeah, there hasn't been much break at all here, so it'll be interesting to see now the big ladder of water break now in a few minutes.
Devin Ryan for Cashel standing over it. He's their free taker. He takes it, lifts, strikes, and that's straight over the black spot for their second score. It's 1-1 for Portroe, 2 points for Cashel King Cormacs inside the opening 5 minutes here at the Rag in the Seamus O'Rian. This broadcast coming to you in association with Tipperary County Council as well. Pucked out there from Diarmuid Boyle, landing down on the far side of the field, and here's AJ Willis going on the attack, and AJ Willis tries in a shot, and that's gone straight over the bar for a fine reply from Portroe. 1-2 for Portroe, Cashel 2 points.
Always very handy when you have a forward that can win his own direct ball and put it over. It takes massive pressure off the rest of the team.
Yeah, and it's something we'll keep an eye on and see whether there's any changes made to that one. Cashel pucks the ball, landing on around the 65 metre line. Picked up by Port. They have a chance to come away, but there's 3 Cashel lads around him. They draw the foul, and there's a chance for Portroe to clear their lines. Ryan Dwyer, he's gone out to centre forward today. He's somebody you've probably tangled with over the years.
Yeah, I played against Ryan a couple of times, so that should be a fairly interesting clash now with Robert playing against Ryan. There'll be a few heavy collisions there, I'd imagine, over the evening. We
look forward to watching that, but Portroe now, he's a good bit out from this one, but he lifts and strikes, and that ball is on its way, but it looks like it'll go little short as it breaks inside. Aaron has all the time in the world, Aaron Brown, but he needs to move quickly as he pucks the ball over to this side of the field, and therefore Carl Quinn has it for Cashel, played back, and they have a chance to launch some sort of an attack. Ryan O'Dwyer there for Cashel, and he breaks it down to Ross Bonner, who's the captain, and that ball coming in, a good shot coming in over on the far side, and they like it because it's gone over the bar, and that is a 3rd point for Cashel. 3 points for Cashel, 1-2 for Portroe.
Yeah, Cashel seemed to be after settling. They had a few bad wides earlier on, but the last 2 scores after going over, so that should settle them now.
Yeah, so Portroe start again as this ball lands just past midfield. Up they go for it, but it breaks on the Portroe side. There is Conor O'Brien. Conor O'Brien takes the shot for Portroe, and that's gone to the right and wide. The joint captain this year for Portroe, over to the right hand side and wide. Aaron Brown resumes play. The ball's going to land over on the far side of the field. Bit of a tussle there. Ger Brown goes forward for it but doesn't get there, and it's on the far side. Chance here for Portroe to clear the lines, but they don't do so, and Cashel have a chance if they can play and find a man, but it's well blocked and well defended, and there is David Lambrusco for Portroe as he comes through with that one, ball in hand, over to the far side here to Ian O'Donnell. Ian O'Donnell plays that ball forward fast ball inside towards Kevin O'Halloran. Kevin O'Halloran is a tight angle, difficult angle for Kevin O'Halloran, and that's a fine score. Absolutely superb score from Kevin O'Halloran.
Yeah, great score there. Obviously, we've seen him over the years with plenty of footballs over there, so equally adept at the hurling. That was a great score there from the corner.
Absolutely superb score with a very, very tight angle, and Cashel decide to go short from Aaron Brown, and they launch a ball forward now, and this one's going to land on the 45-metre line as they try and launch an attack. Comes over the top, and there's a chance here for Aaron Maloney to try and get something going, but the referee's seen something he doesn't like, and he's going to give a free out to Portroe for that infringement.
The Portroe defence seem to be after settling there. Robert Byrne is after coming out the last couple of balls, so they seem to be after getting a handle on the Cashel forward so far anyway.
Yeah, it's early days yet. There's going to be a lot of switching and changing before this game settles. It's a 3-point advantage for Portroe thanks to that fine goal that was scored early in this first half. Ball landing on the 45-metre line as Cashel come back to try and regain that possession, but Port have it and an opportunity to build something here as the ball played inside, coming through there, and really well played, and there's a chance for a clearance, well played and cleared there as Cashel have come forward over on the far side. Here's Ger Brown, doesn't need much space as you say, and he laves it off towards Devon Ryan. Over on the far side, Devon Ryan twists, turns and tries to play the ball forward in towards Aaron Maloney, and Aaron Maloney had somebody on his shoulder, and the referee doesn't particularly like it. You can hear some of the crowd giving some advice to the referee. Aaron's still down injured, but the ball continues and play continues as Portroe have a chance to try and build something now, as over on the far side of the field. Well played there by AJ Willis, and that's his second score. If that goes over, it doesn't, because it's well defended by Aaron Brown, really well defended, but I think the referee has seen something there, perhaps a bit of afters. There's a player down injured, and from a Cashel kind of view, he's blown his whistle, hasn't quite indicated what he wants to do, but we'll see what his plan is.
Calls there on, yeah. The first one, Cashel definitely looked like it deserved a free up on the far side of the field.
He's still down injured, incidentally.
He's still down injured, yeah. So definitely, I thought they deserved a free in that instance. So I'd say the Cashel probably relieved that the ball didn't go over the bar, because they would have felt very hard done by.
So, and well played by Aaron. He's going to be a free out for Aaron Brown as a result of, I don't know, it was an off the ball incident or what it was, but anyway, suffice to say, it's a free for Cashel. Referee just waiting for everyone to leave the field, but there's still a Cashel player down injured. I think it's Aaron Maloney over on the far side of the field. He had a man on his shoulder, kind of all over his back really, as he sought to claim a high ball. No free given, and ball went down the other end.
He looks in a bit better. I'd say it was a knee into the back, which is a sore one to get.
Or maybe into the kidneys.
Yeah, so he looks in a bit of better down there.
Yeah, sore thing. Hopefully he'll be able to recover after a bit of physio on the far side. Even enough. I know there's a goal between him, James, but even enough.
Yeah, it's probably the first moment of the game where we've got a chance to catch our breath. So you can see probably the three inside for Cashel for forward line for this long for you, Ger Brown, Ryan O'Dwyer and Owen Connolly. So that's a massive threat to have inside. So I'd imagine this three is going to be going fairly direct. Yeah, it's going to land presumably on the edge of the square. He's got a fine puck on him. Aaron Brown came into the under 20 squad this year for the Munster final. But I think the physio is just about finished attending to her charge, Aaron Maloney, and we have a chance now as Aaron Brown launches this one, and it's going to land around about the 13-metre line. Broken inside, but breaks kindly for Cashel, and it comes a chance here now for Kyle Quinn, I should say, and he still holds possession, throws the ball over his shoulder, and that's gone over the bar. Fine score there for Cashel, and they now reduce the deficit down to 2. Oh yeah, well worked score there. They were under big pressure from the Portroe back, so they did well to work a score there.
Con Bonner with the score there. Surname synonymous with Cashel hurling, it has to be said. So Con Bonner, number 8 on his back, scoring that one for Cashel. Dermot Boyle now resumes play for Portroe. Ball going to land around midfield. Up to go for it. Fine catch there by Michael Creamer. He plays the ball and the ball comes back inside, and there's AJ Willis. I've mentioned him a number of times where he's having a fine game, and he hand passes the ball off to Anthony Burke. Anthony Burke has that. There was a bit of late challenge, I think, on AJ Willis there, and that's going to be a free in. Yeah,
it was a late one there. The ball was well gone. I think it was Park O'Donoghue who came out with the tackle, so probably trying to put down a marker and probably trying to slow the Portroe forwards down a small bit, but more than likely going to be a yellow card, I'd say.
He's going to have to do something that Willis. He certainly is getting on a lot of ball, but he's winning his own ball.
Yeah, and the ball, in fairness, the ball into the Portroe full forward line is very good. It's all low and out in front, so it's giving them the best chance to actually get the ball in their hand. So they do look lively inside.
Yeah. So Portroe still leading 1-3 to 4 points inside the opening time. That is a flashed yellow card inside there for number 21 for
Portroe Donahue, I think. Yeah. So
Donahue,
it's never easy to stay in the full back line if you're on a yellow card nice and early. So you can expect the Portroe full forward line to be doing plenty of running at that Cashel defence.
Number 11 for
John Sheedy.
Portroe. John Sheedy, you know him well. He's standing over this one, lifts, strikes. Ooh, he likes a low trajectory, doesn't he? That one just goes over the bar, but there wasn't much between the top of Aaron Brown's hurley and that ball, but it restores Portroe's 3-point lead, 1-4 to 4 points. Play resumes. Ball landing on the 45-metre line. Portroe go up with the hand, ball breaks inside. Nobody there to try and pick it up, but it's bit of a scrum develops, but somebody gets the ball in hand, and the referee sees it picked off the ground, and that's going to be a free in for Cashel. And I would imagine Devon Ryan will fancy this one as he approaches it.
It is a free offensive blown if someone gets caught under the ball, lining the ball. Refs these days always seem to blow for the free.
Well, they blow for that, but I don't know what your thoughts on the hand pass or the lack of it is, but we might. I don't know what your thoughts. Maybe you look at it as from a former fullback's point of view rather than as an attacker. But anyway, I'll come back and get your thoughts on that in a second. But standing over it now, Devon Ryan is really good from frees and plays balls in the West Final, and he takes up where he left off with that fine free for Devon Ryan, and reduces the margin back down to 2. 1-4 for Portroe, 5 points for Cashel. Dermot Boyle restarts for Port. Ball landing on the 65-metre line, but there, well played for Cashel is Conor O'Dwyer. Ball played forward, seeing if he can get Devon Ryan involved, and Devon Ryan turns his man really, really well, and there's enough there to draw a free, and the free over on the far side of the field, and I'd say Devon will put the ball down and fancy his chances again. A little bit of pushing and shoving over on the far side, but well played from a Cashel point of view. A lot of pace in this game.
Yeah, and the momentum seems to have shifted there. A few minutes ago we were saying the Portroe defence seemed to be on top, but whatever Cashel are doing over the last few minutes, they seem to be after getting the few frees, and this one's actually moved up, so you should say an easy point for Devon Ryan to put over.
Those kind of things annoy managers enormously, I'd imagine, when fellas
it's a killer for momentum when you're going well to be giving away easy frees, especially when
they get moved up though.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially that, especially when you're a free taker like Devon Ryan,
you don't need to give him an extra 10-15 metres. Like, but anyway, Devon stands over this. Possibility to reduce the margin down to just 1. Lifts, strikes cleanly, and that ball's gone over the bar, and that is their deficit reduced down to 1. So Cashel trail by 1. It's Portroe 1-4, Cashel 6 points. Lively opening half an hour here, a quarter of an hour I should say. We'll be coming up to the half-time water break in a minute, or first half water break, and that ball breaks inside, and bit of a David Lambroso takes that and takes a bit of a hit on the back of his hand, I think, more so than Nelson. Is going to be a free, and the free will be taken by Conor O'Brien, or no, it's actually number 18 I should say, for Portroe.
Robert Byrne, I think, fancies his chances for this one.
Yeah, Robert, he's a good bit out.
Yeah, he's a good strike of a ball when he connects, so they should be well within his range.
Robert Byrne, centre back, lifts. Yeah, it's got plenty of distance, there's no doubt about that, and that looks straight and true from where I'm sitting, and that's gone right over the bar. Fine score, and there was plenty left on that.
Yeah, no, Robert's a good strike of a ball, so he'll fancy those frees all day long.
1-5 for Portroe, Cashel 6 points. Ball over on the far side of the field, and it's gone straight out from the puck out over the sideline, and that'll be a line ball for Portroe. It's ebbing and flowing, I have to say.
Yeah, there seems to be a good crowd from Portroe there at the far side of the field, making a good bit of noise, so good to see the crowd back.
It is good to see the crowd back, and I always think it's fantastic when you've kind of got the one side and one team and one supporters on one side and the one on the other offering advice to the linesman. Anyway, the ball cut in, really good cut in there, and the ball is going to break inside, and there is Kevin O'Halloran, goes to ground, tries to pick, tries to lift, doesn't do so. Good tussle inside there, and Cashel fella has gone down injured. I don't think he was involved in play. I think he might have twisted his knee as he came down to assist that player. Number 3 for Cashel is Nathan Ryan. He picks himself up. I just think he went over on his ankle. But anyway, the free was for something else, irrespective of what happened to Nathan Ryan. But he seemed to twist or something as he went to turn. Anyway, it's a free out for Cashel. They trail by 2. And Aaron Brown lifts, and he's going to resume play as that ball is going to land just after halfway. Chance there as Portroe go up for it, and it breaks inside, and it's gone out over the end sideline. The line ball for Portroe. Portroe leading by 2, 1-5 to 6 points.
It'll be interesting. Will Cashel try and get O'Connolly more into the game? He doesn't seem to be getting his hand on the ball at all, considering he's such an important figure for them.
8 stitches on his hand. It happened in the last minute of the West final, but he's able to play today. Testament to how much he wants to play in the county championship.
It's hard to know, obviously.
It's championship after all.
Yeah.
Ball, sideline cut there. Good sideline cut. Over to this side. There's Mulrooney for Portroe, the goal scorer. Has the ball, turns, plays it back again, and chance for Portroe to come forward. There's been a foul committed, and there is a really rare thing because the referee has awarded a free for a throw ball. It's like a cuckoo.
We haven't seen many of them frees given over, especially inter-county hurling over the last
No,
couple of years.
absolutely not. And a bit of afters as fellas going for a slitter there, and the referee is going to give a free for a throw ball for Cashel, and bit of a tussle off the ball there. I don't think there was much in it. Jack Maloney kind of gets up holding his collarbone, but Devin Ryan has a ball placed here just near halfway, well within his range, just shy of the 65, just a bit over the 65 metre line. So it's Devin Ryan of Cashel, and trying to reduce that margin further again as he stands over this one. Lifts, strikes on its way. It looks like it's gone right and wide. I was commenting on how good he was from place ball. I should have kept my mouth shut, but the referee has decided that is sufficient action for the first half, and we're going to have the first half water break as Portroe go into that water break leading 1-5 to 6 points. Yeah, probably both teams playing well. There's no team well on top. Cashel responded fairly well after Portroe got the goal, but both full forward lines seem to be sharp to get enough ball. Obviously, we've seen the few scores Portroe have got, Kevin Halloran there and the goal as well, and Cashel obviously equally have the few big names inside, but neither team doing it majorly wrong, so it's a fairly well contested battle so far anyway. Your thoughts on the water break? Time to consign them to history?
Yeah, I'd say so. I would imagine this is going to be the last year that hopefully next year we'll be back to a full-on 30 minutes for these club games. Even though I think the way they're going now, it's not even a water break, they're more of a tactical break. It's split the game into 4 quarters. You see most teams now, it's not just the water, it's gone to a 3 or 4 minute break now for the water, which does break the flow. We see some teams like Limerick, obviously at intercounty level, they are using that time very well throughout the season, but
they're not using it for what it was brought in for, though. I mean, I don't think anyone envisaged tactics boards coming out during water breaks.
No, but you'll always see teams trying to take advantage of the rules that are there. But
absolutely.
I'd say next year
it's not a criticism. It's just
next year's going to be back to normal, I'd say.
Yeah, with the help of God. And so you can even see like Cashel have bunched up in a circle. They're actually
and no water being drank.
There's no water being drank, and they're discussing how best to perhaps penetrate that Portroe backline. And Robert Byrne marshalling, I think, them really, really well.
Yeah, no, Robert's playing very well already. He seems to be stopping some of the ball going into the full forward line. Obviously, the big change that I mentioned earlier is will Cashel try and get home. Obviously, maybe his hand is very sore after the West final, as you said, with the 8 stitches on his left hand. It seems to be well bandaged up, but
it's his catching hand as well.
Yeah, so it's the only thing I could try and see for Cashel to try and get him in a bit more into the game. Maybe bring Ger Brown out, even though I know Ger's hamstring is at him a small bit. But
you can see the way he turns, that he's turning gingerly.
Yeah, obviously Cashel are trying to feed him as much ball as they can, but whoever's marking him seems to be doing a fairly good job so far.
Yeah. 1-5 for Portroe, Cashel 6 points, and play's going to resume with a Portroe puck out on the left hand side of the field, and Dermot Boyle. Most of the puck outs from both teams have gone long. The short puck out strategy hasn't really been employed. See a lot of shifting and moving inside that Portroe full back line. The ball's gone long, off, go up for it and fine fielding there, but just goes to ground, and Cashel seems to come away with it. There for Cashel is Michael Breen, or is Nathan Ryan. The ball played forward over on the far side, jostling with it there is Owen Connolly. He's come out to try and get involved in the play, but he's given away a free, and the free will be for Portroe on the far side of the field. Yeah, you see Robert Byrne doing a lot of sweeping there for Portroe. He's manning the old school centre back style of just covering him behind his wing backs. He's doing a fairly good job of it so far. I think he got a bit of a belt. He's gone down on one knee, but he's a hardy boy. He'll be alright. He's recovered a certain part of the anatomy where I think he got a belt, but he's been able to shake that off, for want of a better term, and he's going to now launch a free for Portroe. And this is long puck of a ball, and it's going to land right inside the 45-metre line, and Portroe have it. They turn and see if they can get a shot off, but he takes the wise option, plays it back, shot coming in from Portroe. It looks like it's gone over to the left-hand side and it's gone wide, and immediately Cashel resume play. Nathan Ryan has it for Cashel, looks up and sees who's inside. An angled ball into the corner, looking to see if he can get Ger Brown. Ger Brown is good running in a straight line, it has to be said. It's only when he twists and turns that he might find a little bit of a niggle in that hamstring, but he won a ball and won a free.
Yeah, as you said, he does seem to be able to get out in front, but it's maybe the turn or twisting after that is maybe causing him some grief, but he definitely is being targeted by Cashel when they're trying to hit the ball in. He seems to be, most of the clearances seem to be going towards Ger.
But you've made the point that he doesn't need much space. Like it's more a case of landing the ball on top of him and
trying to make it easy as possible for him to get a score.
Absolutely. So Devin Ryan stands over this. It's on the 65-metre line. He's 65 metres out, and free for Cashel, which he lifts, strikes on its way, and then the goalkeeper has indicated and the umpire have indicated that ball has gone to the right and wide. It's still a 2-point game. Cashel trailing 1-5 for Portroe. Cashel 6 points. Breathless stuff here in the rag in the first round of the Seamus O'Reen. Up they go for it. Ball bounces. Nobody there for it, but there is John Sheedy. John Sheedy plays the ball in towards AJ Willis. AJ Willis has swapped sides now. He's gone over to the right hand side from the left. There's an opportunity as the ball comes in here, and that ball has gone up and over the bar, and that's a fine score from Portroe. Really lovely score in there from Mulrooney again.
Yeah, it's a good score. He had the last one wide, so it's good to get that a good response from him there right now. Too many wides in the team can deflate the team, but that was a great score from him there.
It looks like he shipped a bit of a belt there. He's holding his back, maybe a back rib or something, but he's a little bit sore. There's a number of people down actually at the moment holding different parts of their anatomy even inside. Referee's gone over to the far side of the field as he's having a quick look, making sure everything's okay, but maybe he's asking him to leave the field, is he, at the moment? Is that AJ Willis? I think it is.
Okay.
He's getting attention over on the far side.
Fair to both teams, the game has been played at a great pace. It's up and down the field here from the word goal right now, so it's
hard to ask you for analysis because it's so much going on at any one time, but I think AJ's getting a bit of a magic sponge to his back, maybe the shoulder blade kind of area, and play will resume as soon as he's fit to do so. Treatment completed, and he resumes, and Portroe with their 3-point advantage, and Aaron Brown resumes play for Cashel. Looking for the brother, looking to see who's up there, Owen Connolly, and the ball breaks inside, and this is a really good opportunity as Cashel go on the attack, pulls the ball on the ground, and that's really well defended by Portroe, and they're able to clear their lines really well. Broken inside as it comes out to the far side to Conor O'Brien. Conor O'Brien ships one tackle, tries to pull on the ball, fails to do so, and Cashel come away themselves to Kieran Quinn. Quinn taken down, goes to ground, no free. It's frenetic stuff as the ball is in midfield. Both sides go down for it to try and pick it up. They pick it up, they drop it again, and it's an opportunity here for somebody to try and clear their lines. Kicked out, and looks like Cashel have it to Conor O'Dwyer, and the ball is played forward. Opportunity here for Devin Ryan. Play the ball back, looking to see if Ryan Dwyer can get onto Aaron Maroney as the ball is fired in. Nobody there for Cashel, and an opportunity here for David Lambroso to clear his lines, and Port come on the attack again, and they look lively when they get on the attack because they have their man out in front. Mulrooney has it. Mulrooney goes to ground, ball to ground, tries to kick the ball out, does so, but Cashel have sufficient numbers there, and they turn that over and come away through James Cummins. Played the ball forward. Not the greatest of control though, but he still retains possession, turns and fires in a shot. Fine shot coming in there from Cashel, and that's gone over the bar from Ger Brown.
What an unbelievable 3 minutes of hurling. That was fairly frantic there for the last 3 minutes, and it always helps the team who can get the score after that sort of hurling, so that was a great score there by Ger.
He even when he's walking, it's just a little bit ginger on his right leg, but he's still able to...
He's not fully himself, but most balls he gets off the left now are going to be fairly accurate, so yeah.
Yeah, fine score. 2-point advantage for Portroe, 1-6 to Cashel 7 points. Ball lands on the 65-metre line, and here's a chance now for Portroe to come forward. Ball fed forward. Here's the ball played inside. There through Anthony Burke, and Anthony Burke has lost possession, and the ball is fed forward, and Cashel come on the attack. Over on the far side to Aaron Maloney. He takes a shot from a long way out. It might fall short, does fall short into the grateful arms of Dermot Boyle. Plays the ball forward to Robert Burns. Good ship tackle as he... 2 tackles he rides past and he wins a free and relieves pressure on Portroe. There's kind of that sort of inspiration stuff when you see a centre back coming out like that.
No, and it's after Portroe seemed to be under pressure there for the last few minutes. Cashel seemed to have upped the pace, so it always the defence now can take a break, and while Robert takes his free, he will be sore out tomorrow after a few belts there from under the wire throughout the game.
Yeah, indeed. But we've seen before that he took a free from a similar enough position. There was plenty left on it when it sailed over the bar. So this is within his range. He strikes this free, and it's on its way, but it's going to fall short on this occasion in a dangerous position as the ball lands in around the edge of the square. Number of players there. Cashel O'Donoghue sees if he can lift it. He can't rise it. Does on the second attempt. Portroe Donoghue lays a ball off to James Cummins, and James Cummins relieves pressure, but it's right down the throat there of Portroe, and it comes to Robert Byrne, and he takes another shot at this one. Again, it falls short, and it's a bit of ping pong in there at the moment, but eventually it comes out to Con Bonner, and Con Bonner doing a defensive job there as he plays the ball forward towards Ryan O'Dwyer, and Ryan O'Dwyer rolls back the years with a fine score from Cashel.
Yeah, you often see that when a centre back sits so deep, the centre forward will get a few chances to pop over a few scores like that.
Well done, a fine score from Ryan Dwyer, who's gone out to the centre forward position with Ger Brown in around the full forward alongside Owen Connolly, and it's kind of a two-man full forward with Ger Brown and Owen Connolly. Anyway, well played there from Cashel point of view from Nathan Ryan, but ball played in, and Portroe have more than enough on it, and Robert Byrne having a fine game for Portroe, and he plays that ball forward. Not enough on it though to retain possession, and it's lively here in the rag as the ball played forward over on the far side. Here's Cathal Quinn, the captain. He's pushed, and the referee is going to give a line ball, and the line ball will be to Portroe as he's pushed out over the line, or shouldered out over the line, whichever you prefer. But it's going to be a line ball to Portroe.
Yeah, you can see the excitement from the crowd when Ger gets the ball. He does have that electric pace that the crowd does want him to do something.
Yeah, there's a frisson of excitement when he gets the ball. There's no doubt about that. It's just a single point in it now. Portroe 1-6, Cashel 8 points as we come up towards the half-time break here in the rag. Cut out over to the far side. There's Portroe Donoghue for Cashel. Plenty of time to see if he can play the ball forward. Nicely done indeed as the ball comes forward there towards Ross Bonner. And Ross Bonner takes the shot coming in from the far side of the field. And that's a fine score to even it up here in the rag. 1-6 for Portroe, 9 points for Cashel.
Yeah, Cashel are definitely finishing the half stronger. I think this is the first time they've got back to a draw since the start of the game, so they're definitely finishing the half stronger than Portroe.
Yeah, and I suppose they don't want the half-time break to come because they seem to be in the ascendancy, and that 3-point lead that Portroe had after the fine goal from Mulrooney has been cancelled out. Play resumes. Ball drops on the 65-metre line. Cashel have sufficient numbers back there, and back there is Ross Bonner. Just scored a point, the captain, as he plays the ball forward, seeing who's there, but he just can't get past Robert Byrne. Robert Byrne, playing in the centre, reads the game very well, although his distribution let him down a little bit there, but Portroe have enough players back to try and relieve the pressure. Playing it between the players, and the referee has seen enough to give Portroe a free. The free is on their own 65-metre line, and I'd say Robert Byrne will fancy this one again.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a swing back with the hurley there, but Cashel are going to have to try with their clearances, try and get over Robert Byrne. He is just sitting in the pocket there in the 6th position, and he's after picking up with 4 or 5 balls there in the last 10 minutes.
That's a yellow card for Devon Ryan, who was adjudged to have been guilty on that occasion, so that's Cashel's second yellow card of the game. Interesting to see how that pans out. A yellow for Devon Ryan, in addition to Portroe Donoghue, who picked one up earlier on in the game. But there's a player down injured in the middle of the field, and it'll be a minute or two before we can resume play. And when play does resume, it'll be a free for Portroe, with the teams all tied up here. Portroe 1-6, Cashel 9 points.
Big chance here for Portroe to settle the nerves again. Cashel seem to have him on a run there for the last 5 minutes, so this score, if it goes over, should settle him again.
Ian O'Donnell picks himself up, dusts himself off, and resumes his place in the half forward line for Portroe. But Kevin O'Halloran has come out for this one. It's on halfway. He's probably a good side for somebody who strikes off their left, and he's got plenty of distance anyway. Kevin lifts, strikes. It's certainly got the distance, and it's gone to the right, and it's gone wide. Disappointment yet another wide for Portroe, but they'll resume very quickly from Cashel, very quickly indeed, as we get underway. Conor O'Dwyer loses possession. Mulrooney back to O'Halloran. O'Halloran with the shot, and O'Halloran makes no mistake with the second attempt at that one, and that's gone over the black spot.
You can see that was the first really sharp puck out we've seen all day, so you can obviously see the old timers. This is why they don't want this sharp puck out. There's so many places for it to go wrong.
Yeah, indeed. So Cashel resume with a long puck out as we approach the half-time break here. Portroe have enough back, and Brian Keating has it, lifts. It takes a tackle from Ger Brown, but lifts and hand passes the ball off to safety, and played forward there by David Lambruso, but he's been blocked down, and blocked down really, really well played by Aaron Maloney. But they have enough, they don't clear because it's back with Con Bonner. Con Bonner tries to get Ryan O'Dwyer involved, but too much on it, and Portroe clear. Ball come forward to midfield. Kevin O'Halloran mistimes his intervention, and the ball comes to Cathal Quinn. Cathal Quinn, he's lost ball cheaply back to Conor O'Brien. Conor O'Brien launches the ball in. It's going to land on the edge of the square. Good old jostle in there, and Pádraig Donoghue does really, really well there, and read the ball really well and clears his lines. It's end-to-end stuff here in the rag, and there's only a point between the teams. Portroe leading. As we approach half-time, ball in midfield. Portroe have it. Portroe come forward. Play the ball in really nicely. Two players going for it, and Cashel have come away really nicely with it. And it's with Cathal Quinn. Quinn plays the ball forward, seeing if he can get something going there for Aaron Maloney. Aaron Maloney has it, picks it, turns and goes, but taken down. Look, people looking for a bit of a free. He's lost the ball. Ball gone to ground. Players jostling for it, and it's really well contested. You can see how much they're both going. There's Owen Connolly in there. Owen Connolly wins the ball, goes down, picks up. He's on the corner flag, turns, comes in on the end line, sees if he can get something going. He's dispossessed over on the far side, and there's a chance here for Portroe to clear. Portroe lifts, turns, and it's back with Ian O'Donnell. Ian O'Donnell doesn't clear, and Cashel have dispossessed him and regained possession, and they've won a free, and have had an opportunity to take a breath. James.
Yeah. Frantic few minutes there from both teams. Obviously, that was probably Owen's first chance to get his hand on the ball, so that probably maybe settled him just before half time. But Cashel doing a lot of hurling here, but they just don't seem to get in the score on the scoreboard, and Portroe seem to be keeping their nose in front. But this should give Devon Ryan a chance to level up the sides again.
Probably played 33 minutes of the first half here, if you allow for the water break as well. Excuse me, as Devon stands over this one. Devon Ryan takes most of the frees for Cashel. Lifts, strikes, not a high trajectory, but sufficient to get over the bar. He just about cleared the first defender there.
Just about, and back to a draw again, which seems to be probably a fair reflection on the first half so far.
Drawn game. Portroe on the attack with Jack Maloney. Plays the ball in, looking for Mulrooney on the far side. Mulrooney picks and shoots. This would be a super score if it went over, but it's gone to the right and wide. He was well marshalled, but it was a low percentage shot, really.
Yeah, you always try and tell your forwards to try and pass from that position. It's a very low risk chance to score. Ball
comes in, breaks inside, and now Cashel seeing if they can get something going, but the defence from Byrne and his co-defenders is really, really good. Here's Willis, AJ Willis, plays the ball forward. Clever use of the ball, hand passed off, and there's a chance here for Portroe as the ball comes in to John Sheedy, and John Sheedy puts that over the bar. Fine score, well worked, well played, good use of the ball.
Yeah, no, John free anywhere within 50-60 yards is going to take his opportunities off the left hand side. He's very, very good scorer of the ball.
We resume with Aaron Brown. And that is that from the first half. It's a 1 point advantage for Portroe, 1-8 to 10 points. I think, if it had gone in level or a point either side, we'd have been saying that that's fair reflection of this first half. I think the defences would be both happy with how they performed, James.
Yeah, well, we can see Robert Byrne there had a very good first half. He's doing a lot of reading left and right in the half back line. Portroe seems to be just doing enough to stay in front. Cashel have a lot of hurling done there, but they can't seem to register the scores with their Portroe. After the goal there, after 5-10 minutes, they seem to be just doing enough to keep that point throughout the first half.
Yeah, and we mentioned that Owen Connolly many times. He is a backman, and he's probably more comfortable playing in a half-back position. What's it like as somebody, your own self, a converted half-back thrown into the full forwards as you were for your junior A's this morning?
Yes, yeah, even over the last couple of years we've tried that at different levels, up wing forward or full forward. It is hard to adjust. You're so used to coming out from behind your man or marshalling your man first. It is a hard adjustment, especially if you're nervous over a 8 situation, and he's probably conscious enough of that as well. So He seems to be struggling to get his hand on the ball in that first half, which is a pity because he's obviously one of Cashel's biggest names there. But Ger as well is a bit of a threat in the corner. Again, trying to get his hand on the ball, because the few times he has done, he's created a score.
He'd prefer to be out more central though.
Yeah, obviously, Ger's ideal position is probably around midfield where he can open up. A good few Cashel threes in the first half seem to be from frees.
Yeah.
Devon Ryan, I'd say, has maybe 5 or 6 scored from frees, which kind of keep it a minute. They maybe only have 2 or 3 got from play, which obviously Portroe's defence, as we said before the game, they probably play on the edge. So if they probably can pull back on a couple of frees, they'll fancy their chances to actually beat Cashel in this game.
Yeah, Robert Byrne is marshalling that defence. He's kind of sitting in a pocket, for want of a better term. But who I've been quite impressed with as well is David Lambruso. They call him Sauce. Don't know why they call him Sauce. We tried to pronounce his print name as Lambroso or Lambruso, but anyway, he's playing a fine game as well.
Yeah, again, it's that half back line of Portroe seem to be doing fairly well. They're kind of sitting off their men and just reading the ball that are coming in from Cashel. We said before the game, and probably Portroe knew that Cashel probably going to try to go along with the 2 boys inside the full forward line. So the full back line from Portroe probably want their half back line to sit, so they'll probably be happy enough with Robert Byrne sitting there in the 45.
Okay, well, that is where we're at half time. It's Portroe 1-8, Cashel 10 points. Right now we're going to take some highlights package of the game that was played earlier on today between Kilruan McDonough's and Nina Era Oak.
How important is teeing up this ball, Shane? It's all about nearly a golf, like you're playing pitch and putt, and he's putting up on a tee at the moment.
It is, and this pitch is tidy enough. I'd say we'll see a few score today, and I'd say
again, it looks like Kelly was on the end of that. He feeds it down there as far as Cashel. Cashel, who's impressed so far in the divisional championship. He turns, he shoots, he strikes, and he puts that one over the bar. No, unusual move there by the number 8 there. Alex Morgan seemed to almost volleyball style handball that to himself, but it's back in possession of Nina now. Very casual strike, all on his own. That looks so easy. Are they regulation side? Here goes Kilruan on the march. Jerome Cahill, brilliant stick play. Turn, shoot. Still there though. Kilruan still managed to drive this forward like a rolling maul almost. And they still haven't. They've worked it outside. Is there going to be a shot coming in there from Darcy? Darcy from a tough angle puts that one in. Just about has enough power on it to get brilliantly caught there by Heffernan from the puck out. Lays it outside and Nina on the march here. Gives it out as far as Mikey. Mikey with his right hand side puts that one over the bar, and that's his first score today. But they're on the march here again quickly. Pierce Morris on his left hand side shoots that one up and shoots it over the crossbar.
Yeah, super score, great reaction.
Like a rabbit coming out of the traps below in Shelburne Park or something. He was ready to go. The ball goes to the opposite side though, and here we go now. It's Nina quickly out of the traps. A shot comes in over the shoulder, and more importantly over the crossbar. Taking his time over this one as well. He's entitled to. Puts that one on his right hand side. It looks like that one's gone over the bar. Yes, it has. Heffernan turns his man, gets it up. The second time Vaskin takes his shot. Does that one find its way between the posts? Yes, it does. Darcy followed him the whole way. Then he plays that on. The shot comes in. That one is a dangerous looking shot. Keano Kelly, nice one, and he turns past his man. Tommy Heffernan, the captain, going forward. He has 2 points already. Does he have this one? It's a tough angle. He skies it. It's gone over the net, but has it gone over the crossbar? Yes, it has. Tommy Heffernan with his third of the day. Back in possession of the ball. Looking for some support. Good hand pass over the shoulder. Intelligent direct ball inside as far as Morris. I think Morris is on that. Morris with the shot, and Morris with the score. Tries to drive that one in. They get to pick up. It's Niall O'Mara, feeds it outside. There's a shot coming in there. Shot comes in from Cahill, and they do get a score towards O'Kelly, I think it is. No, it's not. It's Darcy. Darcy's well blocked there. Great defender back there by Jake Morris. They have a couple of tussles today in this game, but Kilruan managed to get the ball back and managed to get it over the bar. Comes there to Cleary. Cleary, who's been good in the second half on his left hand side, shoots and puts that one over the bar. Trying to get it up first and second time. Uses the boot on it. Now in a bit of space on his left hand side. Niall O'Mara, good score from him. Kelly would have fell out, but they've held on to possession now and they're working it through Cahill. Cahill gives it out as far as Kelly. Kelly on the 21. Kelly with the shot and Kelly with the point. Keane up by the corner flag. The big man is looking for a bit of support. He goes short with this one as far as Mark O'Neill. O'Neill has it. Not an easy angle, but O'Neill, does he make very light of that? Yes, he does. The crowd like that one. It's like that was Keane Darcy's 4 point of the day, and now Nina are on the attack. It looks like there might have been a pull there, but then Nina man drives forward. He's a load of men on his back. He shoots on his left hand side. He shoots over the crossbar. Pierce Martin. Where they say right off this next water break, we're trying something, and is that what they're trying here? Again, it's down on top of Cleary. Cleary goes up, gets enough of a hand on it to knock it forward as far as Darcy. Darcy's out by the sideline, and as we predicted, that was definitely spoke about in the water break. Well, one back by Kilruan. They managed to turn this one over through who else but Keano Kelly. Plays a lovely ball into space. It's a dangerous one between goalie. The goalie doesn't know whether to come or not. He eventually leaves it to Jerome Cahill. Jerome Cahill, the team captain, over his shoulder. And is that one where he'd like it to go? Yes, it is. The umpire goes to the white. There's plenty of space out here. Have Nina one last chance. They're driving forward here. They're trying to get something out of this. Cotter gives that inside. Heffernan now. Heffernan in a bit of space. Feeds it outside. You got a late tackle out to the other Heffernan. Heffernan with the shot. Does that manage to sneak in? Yes, it does. So weather that storm and come away with it again through Conor Ryan. They're playing around with it a lot back here. Now here comes Heffernan. He doesn't want any more playing around. He drives that one long down top of the Heffernans. It bounces. It's danger there. Here we go. Nina are in. Have they got the shot? They have. They found the net. Pierce Morris does very well. One-handed manages to bat that to the net.
And play resumes here in the Rag with Portroe leading by a single score. Cashel have it. Ball comes forward in towards Con Bonner. Plays the ball in to see if he can get maybe Aaron Maloney involved. And that ball's gone out over towards the corner flag. Aaron Maloney has time to pick turn. Oh, it's a fine block down as Portroe block that ball down and come forward again. That's really well played and really well played by Conor O'Brien. Played forward in towards the Cashel defence. Looked like they've sufficient there as Portroe Donoghue has it, and he plays the ball forward over to this side to Conor O'Dwyer. Conor O'Dwyer hand passes the ball far side of the field to Con Bonner. Up they go for it on this side, but there's a sufficient numbers there for Michael Breen to lift, but doesn't lift sufficiently as the ball is kicked forward by Owen Connolly. Owen Connolly hand passes the ball in, but there's too much on that, and Cashel really had an opportunity there to try and get something going, but fail, and the ball is with Portroe, and Portroe come away, and their defence holding strong as the ball is played forward. And a chance here, fine stroke up into the forward line. Portroe on the attack in towards Anthony Burke. Anthony Burke fails to lift as Cashel have a chance with that failure to lift to clear as the ball comes to Nathan Ryan. Played forward, good catch there, catch and turn by Owen Connolly. He didn't have much time with that one, and it's gone to the right and wide. Already he's been involved on 2 or 3 occasions.
Yeah, both defences seem to be on top early enough in the second half right now. Yeah, a couple of big clearances coming in there.
Play resumes over on the far side of the field. It's gone out, and the referee has decided. So, Cashel resume play over on this side of the field, and that's really well intervened there from Michael Creamer. Michael Creamer takes that shot, and that's gone right over the bar, and that's a really, really good play from the cornerback.
Yeah, it's a great play. It's always a massive boost if your cornerback can come up and score. So he snuck out in front of Devin Ryan there and done a really good job.
Ball resumes Cashel play, but again Portroe seem to have their number defensively at the start of this second half, and that is a clear throw ball, and the referee has picked up on it, and the ball was thrown by Brian Keating, and I'm just really pleased to see that rule enforced, I have to say.
Well, yeah, when refs are blowing it, all you want them to do is be consistent. If they're blowing for one, you want them to blow for it all, but yeah, he seems to be pulling up on it maybe after all the talk after the Limerick game a couple of weeks ago. He seems to be more aware of it than normal.
Well, I was at the South final the other night, and there wasn't one free given for a thrown ball. So again, consistency I think is the most important thing you've said there.
Yeah, the Portroe defence seemed to have settled again, the same as they did in the first half. They came out with a couple of big balls there, but unlucky enough to give away the free there.
So it's a free for Cashel over on the far side of the field, and it looks like Devin Ryan's going to stand over this one. They trail by 2, 1-9 for Portroe, 10 points for Cashel. Ball just inside the 65 metre line, but way over to the side, so this is probably about 75 metres out.
Yeah, tricky free here now.
Lifts, strikes. It's got plenty of distance, and it's gone straight over the bar. Reduces the deficit back to just a single score as Portroe 1-9, Cashel 11 points, and again Devin Ryan very effective from the place ball, but there's been an incident from that puck out from Portroe. The referee doesn't like. I think that the run of the Portroe AJ Willis was held. I think his jersey was pulled.
Yeah, I think
perhaps,
he's indicating a jersey pull there, like, yeah. So
by
again,
Conor Dwyer maybe, and so
over eager from a defender point of view. Over eager from the
yeah, I
defender's point of
suppose
view.
so. Yeah, you just want to. But Willis was very lively in the first half, and so whoever's on him is going to try and curtail his exploits. Lifts, and a shot comes in there from John Sheedy, and that's gone over the bar, and it's a 2-point advantage back for Portroe, 110 to 11 points for Cashel. Aaron Brown with the ball in hand as he resumes play with a long puck out. It's going to land around about the 65-metre line. Breaks and Portroe have it. Lost again, but AJ Willis isn't prepared to give it up without a fight. 5-6 players in there, including Nathan Ryan. Nathan Ryan has it in his hand, goes to the ground, tries to release it, can't do so. Picked again, and there's a chance here for Jack Maloney. Jack Maloney can't do much for it from Portroe point of view, but there is David Lambruso, and Lambruso plays the ball in, but there's nobody inside. That diagonal ball hasn't worked for them, and there's all the time in the world here for Cashel to clear, and Cashel do so with James Cummins plays the ball forward. Up they go for it, and lost there, and Ryan O'Dwyer has it, and Ryan O'Dwyer has all the time in the world to put that one over the bar. He was just sitting unmarked.
Yeah, he's finding a space away from Robert Byrne. As I said, Robert Byrne is probably sitting deep trying to protect the full back line, so Ryan is going to he's going to get a few chances where he's getting the ball in his hand.
There's number 30 for Cashel, Paddy Fahy, has come on. We'll find out in due course who's gone off. We don't get the advantage of announcements here, I'm afraid, in the rag. Nathan Ryan launches an attack, and that's a fine catch by Aaron Maloney. He's true on goal, takes the shot. Oh, it's gone over the bar, and he was going for goal, no doubt about it. What a wonderful passage of play. The ball fed from Nathan Ryan into Aaron Maloney. Fine catch and turn, but there's been a free.
I think Robert threw the hurley when he was trying to strike it, so he could be in trouble here now with a yellow card.
I didn't see a hurley thrown, but I was looking perhaps intent on Aaron Maloney going through on goal. No doubt he was going for goal.
Yeah, no, it was a great play. I think he probably played the defenders hurley, but yeah, I'd say he was trying to lift through from the nest there, so great play there by Aaron. Yeah,
so we're back to a drawn game, 110 for Portroe. Cashel 13 points. What a fine catch by AJ Willis. He'd be my man in the match so far as the ball is played inside. There, Cashel have a chance, but Portroe have sufficient on this. Is that Kevin O'Halloran? Oh, he's such a stylish stickman. He really is. That was super point from Kevin O'Halloran.
Yeah, and Portroe, they always respond well every time Cashel seem to have got a score. They go back and get their own score. So
it's like
again,
they're not prepared to concede that advantage that they always have. 1 or 2 points over the Cashel lads, but Portroe through Robert Byrne have it. Ball cleared forward on the far side. Cashel have all the time in the world though to clear this one through James Cummins. Oh, well played again by their fullback there, Michael Breen. Hand passes the ball forward in towards AJ Willis. Willis takes one look at the sticks, and if that goes over, it's like a no-look shot.
No, that was a great score, and that was set up by the fullback there, Michael Breen. He's obviously been tasked with marking Owen Connolly, so a great score there.
And suddenly it's just resuming where it left off. There's no pause for breath in this game at all. Portroe lead by 2, 112 to 13 points. There's a chance here now as Portroe come forward again, and it's with Sheedy. Sheedy lays the ball off to the far side towards Jack Maloney. Ball goes to ground, and there's a chance here for Devin Ryan to try and get something going for Cashel. Plays the ball in towards Aaron Maloney, who's really lively in the second half. It's like somebody said something to him at half time. He seems to be a focal point of that Cashel attack, and he's gone to ground, and I don't know. Anyway, there was some coming together. Is that the way of describing it?
I think he was trying to get the ball back for the sideline, but
there was a bit of a contact of a hurley, certainly, from what I saw. But whether or not what the referee saw, we'll soon find out. But it is Aaron Maloney who's gone to ground. He's gone to ground, and
definitely at the start, you can see the start of the second half. The Portroe defence are well on top of Cashel here. Cashel, similar to the first half, they seem to be over-relying on frees. But Portroe seems to be well marshalling here.
So the referee's gone over, and of course, and you needn't need me to tell you that to strike or attempt to strike is a red card offence, but it depends what was seen. And again, we'll soon.
Johnny Butler there is the linesman on the far side, so he was right on it when it happened.
So referee will have a conversation with him, no doubt, and see what the best course of action is. But the most important thing is Aaron has resumed play. Referee has a chat with his linesman. It's hard to tell from his hand gestures whether or not he saw what or whether he's going to articulate it or whether he's going to demonstrate it. But anyway, time will tell. Portroe lead by 2 points. It's Portroe 1-12, Cashel 13 points here in the second half of this keenly contested game in the rag.
Big moment here to see what the ref does. See calling.
So he's calling.
Justin Conroy, I think, is the name, 18 for Portroe.
Yeah, Justin Conroy has been called forward. It's a yellow. And a sigh of relief. And is that ironic cheering from the other side?
That's Cashel fans we can hear there coming through.
Yeah. So anyway, it's going to be a sideline ball, and Robert Byrne is going to take it. And if you wanted the temperature to be turned up a little bit, it just has.
I'd expect a few hard tackles now over the next few minutes.
Watch the next 5 minutes, folks, because the ball is played through the centre. Here's Owen Connolly. Owen Connolly takes one shot, look at the post, and that's a fine strike. And that's a fine response from Owen Connolly. Puts that ball over the bar. We're back to a 1 point game. Cashel 14 points, Portroe 1-12.
Owen's a lot more active in the second half. I see he seems to be operating more in the half-forward line.
Yeah, I think
so he's finding himself
certainly more
room, so that's obviously a big addition for Cashel if Owen can get on the ball more often.
Well, maybe he just trusts his hand more.
Yeah, maybe
he needed that first 30 minutes of county championship hurling to get into that and see how he's going to respond. Lively second half. Ball breaks over on the far side of the field, and Cashel have possession. But they throw that ball away a little bit loosely, and a lot of work there for James Cummins to do, but he does sufficient to get the ball forward. And Robert Byrne reads that one really well and wins the ball, but he's gone out over the sideline, and it's going to be a sideline ball for Cashel, right in front of some of their partisan followers, and it's lively stuff.
Yeah, Robert took off. He's after starting the second half exactly where he finished first. He's picking up a lot of ball there across the 45-yard line in the second half.
So Owen Connolly is trying to make a bit of a tuft for himself, I think, a bit of a tee, and maybe he fancies putting this one over.
The hand must be well
Jason Ford
if he's taking this on.
Yeah, he's a long way out because he's 65 metres out minimum, but he gets a lot on it. It's going to fall short though. Ball comes inside, and Cashel look like they're going to win the breaking ball. Portroe gave nothing up loosely because Conor O'Dwyer's there for Cashel, can't get the ball to hand, and now they come away with it again through Aaron Maloney. Aaron Maloney into Ger Brown. Ger Brown, 3 tackles, takes a shot, goes for goal, it's saved, blocked inside, it's gone out for a 65, and I'm surprised he went for goal there, but it was a fine save from Diarmuid Boyle in the Portroe goal. A bit more pushing and shoving inside, and the ball has gone out for a 65, and something was said, and certainly Diarmuid Boyle didn't like what was said, and bit of pushing, nothing in it, but the referee goes in.
Connolly, I think, is after getting the belt. He seems to be down holding his stomach or his groin. But you can see the pace, the excitement when Ger Brown gets the ball. The goal wasn't even on there, and he took his chance. So again, if Cashel can try and get enough ball into Ger Brown's hand,
it's more groin than stomach. I'm not wishing to correct your anatomy, but that's not where your stomach is, my friend. Anyway, the ball is gone out for a 65, and it's pretty much straight in line here. And Devin Ryan is with it. He's also standing over it with Paddy Fahy. And the referee's gone in to chat to the linesman. The referee is telling everyone to calm down. Don't know if he's going to take any action, but he's going to have a word with the fullback for Portroe, Michael Breen. He's also maybe going to involve Aaron Maloney in this conversation. But not much happening other than a quick chat to the affected parties. No cards, brief chat. Devin Ryan has the ball and he's going to resume play, hopefully. With a 65.
Big chance here for Cashel to get back to a level again.
Yeah, this would be a levelling score because Portroe lead by 1-12 to 14 points. Devin on the 65 metre line. Goes through his normal pre-free routine. He lifts. Strikes. And that's straight over the bar. We have a tie game here in Portroe. And you know what? A drawn match might suit Mary's down to the ground.
Yeah, Mary's top of the group because obviously Mary's bit Laura, as we said earlier on in this morning's game, in the same group.
Anyway, there's a chance here now as Portroe resume the game with the scores tied. Up they go for it. Broken down by Paddy Fahy as he tries to get on it. Portroe battle for it. Nobody able to pick it up, but Portroe have it and Portroe come away with it. Well played inside there by Lambruso. Lambruso plays the ball inside. Heavy heights, heavy shots as it comes to Mulrooney, and Mulrooney, it comes off the post, breaks inside, reacting quickly there for Cashel is Kieran Quinn. Kieran Quinn back to his goalkeeper Aaron Brown, and Cashel relieve the pressure on their inside back line, and Portroe break the ball down from that resultant clearance, and the referee has given a free to Portroe. And like whenever there's a gap in play, there's always a little bit of pushing and shoving, not much more than that. I would just say it's keenly contested.
Teams are getting to know each other a bit better,
Yes,
I think.
there's a couple of euphemisms that we can trot out at this point. Teams are getting to know each other. Welcome to senior hurling. That's what it is here in
Long
the
range chance here
James
for
Arena.
John Sheedy. He's right out on the sideline, probably good 90 yards out. So
This is John Sheedy over. Yeah, he's a good way out. And probably a bad side for a left Kitog striker of the ball. But with somebody with his talent.
But again, every time Cashel seem to score, get it back to level, Portroe seem to take their chance to go back a point up. So this we'll see.
Ball on its way from the resultant free from John Sheedy. And that's super. That's absolutely super from him, because it's gone straight over the bar. And again, Portroe just are not going to give up their lead. Cashel are going to have to... Oh, that's a bad puck out from Aaron Brown, because Mulrooney has it. He takes on his man in Nathan Ryan, comes back to right, turns left. He's got two men on him at this stage, but he goes on a solo, plays the ball over the top. He was taken out, and he's won a really good free. And Cashel are guilty of shooting themselves in the foot there.
Yeah, that's the second. We see Aaron tried it in the first half with a sharp puck out, and it kind of backfired. Portroe got a score, and we see the exact same thing here. So they're probably better off going long. They have Ryan or the wire, they have O'Connelly out in the half forward line, so probably Cashel are better with the more direct puck out.
Well, you know, just when Cashel, all the effort that Cashel have put in to try and get back to parity, and in the space of 90 seconds they could find themselves 2 points down here.
Yeah, we were saying that Portroe in the first half were more efficient with their scoring. Cashel were doing a lot of the hurling, but Portroe seemed to be more efficient. So again,
well, John
2
Sheedy's
points up
put
there
that
for a
over the
minute.
bar, and that's his second score in the space of a minute. And Portroe have gone out to a 2-point advantage, 114 to 15 points, and Aaron Brown learns his lesson and he pucks the ball long, going to land the inside forward line as going into tussle for it there. And Portroe have won possession and come away with it, and playing really well as a unit. And they're trying to get Mulrooney on the ball again, but he's just skips away from him. I've been really impressed with him. He's a fairly slight looking player for a senior club hurler, but he's got all the skills.
He's lightning quick. He looks very
Yeah.
quick here, so he seems to be out in front most times. Most times the ball goes into him.
A couple of
Mark
substitutions
Generally,
here
I think.
because
Coming in for Portroe.
number 10
Generally, yeah.
Donald has gone off, and number 14 Mark Greenery has come on. So Cashel in possession as again two Portroe players around Ryan Dwyer, but he wins enough possession to go on a run, plays the ball out to his right hand side. A chance coming in from Cashel, that's gone over the bar. Fine score over on the far side of the field. The deficit has returned to 1. Hang on, because the referee has seen something, and there's been some off the ball incident. There was a point there for Cashel, but the umpire is holding his his arm out. He's seen something. Something has happened to Aaron Maloney.
Yeah, it seems to be 18 again here for Portroe. Justin Conroy, who's already booked 10 minutes ago there to start the second half. So if the umpires did see something now off the ball, he could be in trouble.
Well, very, very quickly the umpire put his arm out, and you want good communication between your officials. It's number 18 who's been called forward. He has got a yellow earlier on, but it's a second yellow, and that's therefore going to be the first red card of the game for number 18 for Portroe. That is Justin Conroy.
I think it was just another use of the hurley, which is two silly yellow cards there. And now Portroe are going to have to do some readjust and bring back a corner forward or midfield to make up the six backs.
So it's a 1 point advantage for Portroe, 114 to 16 points, but it's a 1 person advantage for Cashel because it's 15 against 14 numerically on the field. And this game has delivered much in the course of the last 40 minutes or so. Ball breaks, and Cashel have a chance to try and build something from there. And one-handed, brilliantly done by Conor Dwyer. Sees if he can get something going into Ger Brown. Ger Brown doesn't look, takes a shot. That ball has gone into the air. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the point of the day.
That's an unbelievable score. Yeah, he probably shouldn't have taken it on, but when you're confident.
I
it's
talk
blown like
about
Ger.
low percentage shots. That was a low percentage shot, but that has equalised. That has brought the team's level. 17 points for Cashel, 114 for Portroe, and there are some scores that you can only describe as mighty, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was a mighty score for Cashel King Cormacs. Play resumes from Diarmuid Boyle. And Portroe need to do something now because there's a momentum shift. Oh, fine catch, and there's a chance here as Portroe through Jack Maloney try and get something going, but that's well defended by Nathan Ryan. Doesn't get a good clearance on it. No purchase. Ball has a bit of topspin on it. It's gone out over the side, and Kevin O'Halloran there for Portroe. He wins that sideline, and it'll be a sideline for Portroe. And there's a right number of individual battles going on all over the field. But the referee's seen something.
Water break, I think.
God, it's a water break. It's a water break. I can't believe that was. Is that 15 minutes already?
Probably welcome by Portroe because it'll give them a chance now to settle and reorganise. Because if you were in normal circumstances now, which is a full and a half, they'll probably have to reorganise, especially with the men down. So this will give their management a chance now to come in and reorganise and get their six-pack set. Because Cashel seems to be on the rise there after that red card was given out.
We talk about water breaks, but there was momentum, and that's a killer because Cashel seemed to, there was a 2-point advantage. They got it back. They have an extra man. They're winning puck outs. Next thing you know, they're called into a water break.
Yeah, so this is. So obviously Cashel didn't want the water break to come here, and Portroe probably did. You see a massive score from Jay Brown there to get him back level. But yeah, Cashel do seem to have a tendency, so it'll be interesting to see what Portroe do now after this break.
It's a tailor-made situation for their management to say, okay, look, we've lost one of our defenders. This is what we're going to do. In terms of communicating a message, nothing is going to do it as well as a water break, because if you're trying to do it on the hoof on the sideline, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, and you often see sometimes when a man gets sent off, like Cashel now could take the foot off the pedal because they think, because we have the extra man, they'll do it for us. But that doesn't always work out.
Yeah, it's been an interesting weekend of hurling so far. Started on Friday night with a repeat of last year's final. Killadangan with a single point over Lochmore. God, Lochmore, we wonder what they have to do to beat Killadangan.
Yeah, we must chat to Killadangan because we never seem to come out the right side against Lochmore, so they seem to have the measure of Lochmore over the last 2 years anyway. But yeah, again, it's a good way to start the Tipp Championship. Obviously, the Tipp Championship is a great bit of hurling to watch and go to. So yeah, it was a good start to the weekend, and the weekend seems to be continuing with some good games over the last couple of days. The
Upper Church, of course, out next weekend again in the football. I think you've Mile Rovers in the opening round of fixtures.
Yeah, I think Mile Rovers is the first game, right? Yeah, so it doesn't get any easier.
No, well, other teams north of E will be resting up perhaps a little bit, but yeah, that's a dual senior club, and that's the price you play. Anyway, so we're going to resume with just 15 minutes to go in this second half as Cashel and Portroe are tied. 114 for Portroe, Cashel 17 points, and it's hot and it's heavy and it's lively. As it's going to be a sideline ball. Sometimes you would think the referee kind of waits for the ball to go dead and have a puck out. It's unusual, I think, for a sideline ball to be the resumption of play after a water break. But Kevin O'Halloran is in front of us.
I remember Kevin used to be fairly handy at these sidelines underage, so unless he fancies this, but he'll be dropping in fairly deep into the square, I'd say.
I think we can call Kevin O'Halloran a dead ball specialist in all codes. Oh, he gets a real good purchase on that. That's on its way. Oh my God, that's a wonderful score from Kevin O'Halloran.
Yeah, I remember when Kevin was underage, he used to be fabulous at those, so things haven't changed. That's a fabulous score. That was 90 yards out from the sideline.
But there was loads left on it.
Yeah.
Oh, what a score from a sideline cut. Between Ger Brown's point that preceded it and Kevin O'Halloran's, we're being treated to some fine score taking here in the RAG today. Portroe with a 1-point advantage, and they have possession and they have an opportunity to build from the back. Ball goes forward, far side of the field, really well defended by Cashel, and they have an opportunity here to their centre back, Nathan Ryan. Nathan Ryan's hand pass isn't great though, but he has enough on it to get it forward to Ross Bonner. Ross Bonner forward indeed, and there's a chance for Cashel. Ryan O'Dwyer, he's got a runner off to his right hand side. The ball comes in from Aaron Maloney. Aaron Maloney with the shot in, and it's point for point, even Stephen, and we're back to a tied game.
Yeah, this is great hurling here. Yeah, the Whites seem to have petered out of the game, so both teams taking their chances very well here.
Oh, super game of hurling here in the RAG as we're all square, 115 to 18 points. Ball played in, far side of the field. Owen Connolly goes on a run. He's got a good turn of pace, Owen, I have to say. He was 1 or 2 yards behind his man, but he was able to close that gap. But there, Michael Creamer has a chance to clear his lines for Portroe. Well fielded, well played, ball coming in. It's going to the right and shielded wide. It's the first wide we've had in a while. Such has been the quality of the point scoring that we've seen in the last 5 minutes or so. But play resumes. Diarmuid Boyle for Portroe. Ball lands. Oh, what a fine catch. Fine catch by AJ Willis. He goes on a run, goes past his man. Ships a really heavy tackle, plays off to the right hand side. And there is Anthony Burke Burke goes to ground, ball goes to ground, referee doesn't like what he see. That was a hell of a shoulder as the ball was coming through.
I think Portroe were very lucky there not to get a free. It seemed like a bit of a knee out into the leg as opposed to a shoulder on shoulder, but the ref didn't seem to think so. We have a throw ball now here in the 21.
It was Lee Burke on AJ Willis as the ball was going through, and I don't know whether the fella who perpetrated the tackle, it's Portroe Donagh who is down. It looked like Lee Burke came in on AJ Willis, who, what a fine catch, fine fielding from him as he turned and went on a run.
And Cashel obviously have the extra defender back there now after the red card, so they seem to be marshalling the edge of the 21 there fairly cleverly.
I didn't quite see what the referee signalled in relation to that.
I think it's a throw ball, I think.
Throw ball, right. So it's a free out then, presumably. No free in? Okay. Oh, he's going to throw it in. Okay. All right, so we'll resume play in a moment, as the referee gathers the protagonists around him, and he's going to throw the ball in once we get the physio off the field. Bit of attention there to AJ Willis.
Big chance for Cashel now to actually go forward. They've never actually gone ahead in the game. They've only always been chasing the lead, so if they can get themselves ahead in the game, it's a big chance for them.
I think psychologically as well for them, because Portroe have done really, really well to ensure that they've always been able to claw that game back, claw it back. Ball thrown in. Cashel, ball to ground. Number of players, but Cashel come out of it, and suddenly there's a bit of excitement as Conor O'Dwyer breaks forward, plays the ball forward, sees if he can get something going on this side of the field. Ryan O'Dwyer is tussling and holding his man, and his tussle with Robert Byrne is worth the admission. I'm not so sure. I think it was a 50-50 there.
The free could have gone either way there.
I think Robert Byrne belied his somewhat youth in playing that one really well.
Definitely be inside Robert Byrne's range, just inside the 45 in his own side, but I think he'll definitely have the strike to reach it.
I was thought he was going to take something quickly there, but he seems, having listened to you, to slow down a little bit and takes this long puck, but it's gone to the right, it's gone to the left I should say, and that's wide. Not much wide, it had plenty legs, but it's gone to the left and wide. We still a tied game here in the rag, 1-15 for Portroe, 18 points for Cashel. Down on top of Ger Brown. Ger Brown goes up, doesn't get off the ground, and a chance for Portroe to clear his ball. And there's Robert Byrne. Robert Byrne plays the ball inside, and there's a fine opportunity there because Mark Greenery is inside, and he's been marked closely by Kieran Quinn. Turns, plays the ball back really, really well. Looking for John Sheedy, but he's overcooked that a little bit, and they're going on a run. Is Ross Bonner. Ross Bonner plays the ball in, looking to see if he can get Devin Ryan involved. Ryan picks, traps the ball really well and turns over his shoulder, and for the first time this afternoon Cashel lead 19 points to 115. Some of the score taking here is outstanding.
Yeah, it's a fabulous score, and as I said earlier, it gets Cashel in front, so it'll be interesting now can they push on and actually push ahead of Portroe, because they do seem to be using their spare men at the back very, very well.
I think Aaron Maloney might be in trouble again, and I think that there's a discussion about perhaps that's his race, his run. He's been on the receiving end of some close attention, but I think whatever injury he may have had coming into this game has caught up with him, and that's his race run. He's gone off the field, and Cashel are forced into a change. We'll get that to you in just as soon as we have it. But play will resume as Portroe trail by 1. Resume play as the ball breaks in midfield. Cashel have the sufficient numbers there, but John Sheedy is in there trying to win it. Jack Maloney's in there trying to win it, but Sheedy has it in his hand, and that's a soft free, a really soft free, because he wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah, it's a really killer, especially after going to point ahead. You're giving John Sheedy an easy kind of free here from maybe 55 yards out in front of the goals to put it over. So
yeah, it was a needless free, but having done so much hard work to get into the lead, Cashel have coughed that up. They still lead because John Sheedy still has to put this over the bar, but it's well within his range. It's pretty much in front of the goals, slightly to the right of the goals as he looks at it. He lifts with the left, takes the strike, and that's gone over the bar. We're back to a tied game. 19 points for Cashel, 116 for Portroe as we're coming down the stretch in this game, sponsored by Tipperary County Council. As ball struck by Aaron Brown as it lands inside, and it's going to be a free for Cashel for holding or interfering with the player getting off the ground. I think it was it Ger Brown trying to get off the ground there, fails to do so, but he's won himself a free, and all of a sudden Portroe have done what Cashel did a minute ago and given away a soft free.
Disappointed now, and as you said, with maybe 10 minutes to go here, giving away these easy frees, especially when you have 2 free takers like Devon and John Sheedy on the field. You can't be giving the teams easy chances like this, and this is an easy enough chance now for Devon Ryan to put over the bar.
Devon stands over it, pretty much on the 45-metre line, if there was a 45-metre line on the pitch. But anyway, lifts. No, stands, lifts, strikes. On its way, and that's over the black spot again, and Cashel retake the lead, 20 points to 119. And there isn't going to be much left in this, I can tell you. It's going to come down to how much injury time the referee might choose to play as well. But that extra man advantage that Cashel have, that 15 versus 14, is paying dividends for them as the bodies begin to tire at the end of this first round of Group 4 of the Seamus O'Ryan. Ball play resumes. Ball lands. Somebody tries to drag in the air, and what a superb catch by Mulrooney. What a wonderful catch. He goes on a run, and this is a real opportunity now for Mulrooney. Oh, he's been tackled. He's been fouled. The referee blows his whistle. He doesn't like what he saw as the hurley came in from behind, and it looks like number 17, that's Lee Burke, was guilty of that infringement. He turns away in disgust, and Mulrooney, what a catch.
Depends how the ref interprets this now, because it was a high enough hurley to the face guard, I think, and obviously with refs nowadays
it's Con Bronner who's been spoken to.
But, what a fabulous piece of play by Rowan there.
Oh, it's red. A straight red card.
That's disappointing for Cashel, because they were literally just have to get on top of the spearman in defence, but obviously
you called it straight away, James. You had an inkling it might be red from the get-go.
Yeah, well, I think refs are told nowadays any bit of hurley to the face guard is more or less a straight red, and players know that nowadays, so it's a silly tackle now to give away.
Suddenly this game has more drama, more twists and turns, because it's a free in for John Sheedy for Portroe. They trail by 1, and the numerical advantage that Cashel enjoyed has now been rectified for Portroe. It's 14 men on 14 men. Sheedy lifts, puts that ball over the bar, and it's now 119 for Portroe, 20 points for Cashel. Unbelievable game of hurling here in the opening round of the Seamus O'Ryan. Ball drops, and chance here for Cashel to go on the attack, and here's Owen Connolly. Owen Connolly through on goal. Owen Connolly with a shot. It's saved. It breaks. It's in the back of the net. That is a goal for Cashel, and who'd have thought it? Owen Connolly, one possession, went on a run. It was a fine save, but it just trickled by underneath them, and we don't even have time to analyse it, because Portroe are on the attack. This is going to land on the Cashel square. Cashel have a chance to clear it, and they do so through James Cummins. James Cummins, end-to-end frenetic stuff, but Cashel lead by 3, 120 to 117. Portroe aren't done yet, not by a long shot. Really well played as the ball comes back towards Jack Maloney. Jack Maloney needs to hold on to this ball, but he's lost it, and Cashel have it. And Cashel now, with ball in hand, through Ryan O'Dwyer, stops, plants his feet, and plays the ball over the far side. He was looking for Devon Ryan, but too much on it. It's a sideline ball for Cashel. James, summarise the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, big moment there for Cashel now. They're after open up a 3-point gap, and the ball just broke in behind Robert Byrne. The two lads went up for the same ball, so Ger Brown and Owen Connolly both stayed down, so it was a great forwards and shooter from Owen Connolly.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, and he took his chance. The ball kind of broke maybe 30 yards out, so he carried it in as far as the 14 and buried it.
We have to give credit to Diarmuid Boyle. I mean, he got a lot on it. It just trickled underneath him.
Yeah, he was probably unlucky, even though I think one of the Cashel forwards was following in regardless, but it's a big momentum shift now to Cashel. They're after going 3 points up, with not a lot left in the clock, I'd imagine.
No, not a lot left is right. We're pretty much coming up to the 30-minute mark, but Portroe have battled and battled and battled throughout the course of this game. Let's see what's left in the tank. Oh, it's a fine catch by Willis. Willis, chips a tackle, but the referee says play on. Tries to hand pass it away. Now the referee was playing advantage, and he's going to give a free. Some of the fielding from Portroe has been exceptional. Mulrooney's been superb. Oh, and there's a bit of an issue over on the far side of the field. A player has gone to ground off the ball over there, and this
has been boiling over for the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, there's a Cashel player on the ground on the far side of the field, and
the umpire has his hand out. So
the umpire has seen it, and it's the same umpire who called the referee's attention to a previous incident, which resulted in a second yellow and therefore a red. And he's seen it, so we're going to have a see what's going to come of this, because the play was up at the other end, if you like, at the road end, at the roadside goal, and the referee, we were going to have a free in after AJ Willis had won a free for Portroe, but there was an off the ball incident down the other end of the field. A Cashel forward is on the ground receiving attention. The referee has had his attention called by his umpire to what happened, and he is now making his way over towards the injured player. Robert Byrne offering some words of advice to him, and the referee holds up his hand as if to say, thanks for that, Robert, I'm good. And he's continuing his information gathering exercise by having a chat to his linesman to see whether the linesman can concur with what his umpire has told him. The book is out.
I think it's Devin Ryan was the player that was down.
So it's Devin Ryan who's picked himself up, and it's, I think, Robert he's having a word with, Robert Byrne. Robert Byrne looks somewhat incredulous. And that's a red card. It is a red card. Was it a second yellow, or was it?
He gave him a second yellow first there, yeah. So it's Robert Byrne now has to leave the field, which is a massive loss.
Byrne is gone. So it's 13-14 here, and we're pretty much down to the latter stages of this encounter. Cashel lead by 3, 120 to 117. And Cashel hold all the cards now with even one-man advantage and a 3-point advantage. And you really, you'd need 4 cameras, 4 commentators and 5 analysts to try and give you some analysis of what's happening, because there's stuff all over. We're going to resume, by the way, with a free for Portroe. He's not going to reverse the free. He's going to continue with it. Would you expect a reversal there?
Probably not. When the foul was maybe 90 yards back in the field, he probably left his play alone this side of the field.
So John Sheedy has put that ball over the bar. He's making his way quickly, and there's a 2-point advantage for Cashel from the resultant free that John Sheedy has taken. End-to-end stuff. And Aaron Brown is going to get as much distance into this as he can to try and get the ball up the other end. Breaking ball, Connolly is in there for Cashel, but he's lost possession, and it comes into the hands of David Lambrusco, and he's won a free, and he puts the ball down. It's going to be a free. Back there is Kevin O'Halloran. They're 2 points down, and there can only be moments left in this. I'd say we're into injury time at this stage. Kevin lifts, drives that ball. There's an awful lot on it, but it's gone out to the left. He's trying to get something going, and that's a disappointment for him, because that's gone straight over the sideline. It'd be a line ball to Cashel.
I think the better option there would have been a long ball into the square.
You can't beat a long ball into the square.
Cashel or Portroe need a goal now.
Portroe will need a goal, because I don't know if there's time for 2 scores, and I'd do the same myself, but the Cashel defender is taking his time. He's taking a pedestrian approach to this sideline and runs down the clock, and the referee tells him to hurry on, blows his whistle, and it's Nathan Ryan for Cashel. Sideline cut. Ball, good sideline cut, plenty distance on it, plenty purchase on it, and Cashel look to try and get something going, but they've lost the ball through Devin Ryan, and that's going to be a sideline cut for Cashel, and Kevin O'Halloran is all the way back there, and we know what he can do, but he's going to have to try and make sure that this is landed into he's gesturing almost like a baseball player to try and tell him where he's going to put the ball, but Kevin cuts this, lots on it, it's going to land inside, huge distance, lands on the edge of the square. Cashel have sufficient numbers back there, they don't quite win possession, and the ball's gone to ground. There's 3, 4, 5 players in there. Cashel come away with it, Cashel clears their lines, and the ball has a chance now for Cashel. They have a man advantage, and they play the ball right over to the corner, into the corner there, and it looks like Owen Connolly tried to get on the end of that, fails to do so, and Cashel have sufficient numbers. They go on the attack. Cashel play the ball into the centre, and that has gone wide. It's gone wide. Number 18 for Cashel.
The ref
had a
is given
real
a free, and I think
there.
the goalie,
Ger Brown.
there was a collision after the ball was hit, so I think the ref's given a free, and I think here
120 for Cashel, 118 for Portroe, and there's a cramp there in front of us. One of the Portroe lads has cramp, being helped by Ryan O'Dwyer, who's offering some physio assistance to him, but there's another Cashel player down injured, and I don't know if the referee's going to take the name of the Portroe goalkeeper. Notes him. Yellow cards the Portroe goalkeeper, and
the space up there now will suit Ger Brown, because obviously it's only 13 versus 14 players here at the moment, so
but
Ger
also
has space
crucially
to the far side of the field.
Crucially, it's winding down the clock, and it's a chance for Cashel to put 3 points between them. Devon puts the ball down. Referee doesn't like where Devon puts the ball down, and so Devon puts the ball down again. 5 centimetres from where he put the first ball down. Anyway, referee's happy with his contribution, and
should put 3 points in it
should put
again,
3 between them. It's 120 to 118. Devon Ryan with an easy free. About 30 metres out, lifts, drives that ball. It's gone halfway to in. through the parish of Drummond and they lead by 3, 121 to 118, and speed is of the essence here from Portroe's point of view. Ball in the air, can't be much left. Up they go for it. Mulrooney puts his hand up and fails to gather as good challenge in there from Paddy O'Flaherty as goes to ground. It's going to be a free in for Portroe. In the dying moments of this game, they trail by 3. James, what would you do?
Well, I can't imagine there's much time left, so if there's only maybe 30 seconds left, he's going to have to go for goal.
But how are you going to work a goal from here? I mean, you're not going to be able to drive it.
35 yards out there to the left.
You know John better than I do, but maybe he'll put it over the bar and hope they win a breaking ball. And he does that.
Yeah.
2
He
point game.
there must be more time than we thought. There must be a minute or two left.
Yeah. So the referee blows his whistle for the resumption. Cashel King Cormacs lead by 2, 121 to 119. Portroe are going to have to win this puck out. Aaron Brown with the puck out for Cashel King Cormacs. Lots of space. They have a numerical advantage. It's 14 men against 13 as the ball breaks, and there is Ryan O'Dwyer. Ryan O'Dwyer turns. Ryan O'Dwyer shoots, and that's gone wide. And the Cashel crowd on the far side were willing that ball over. But however, the linesman on the far side has said it was over the bar, and he has informed the umpire to wave his flag. It's a 3-point game. Ball resumes. You can't take your eyes off it. There's all sorts of stuff happening here. But Cashel have the ball. It's gone straight out over the sideline, but touched a Cashel player by all accounts, and he's given a sideline ball to Portroe. Cashel disputing that over on the far side of the field, but I thought it went straight out over the sideline from the puck out from Portroe. Somebody from Cashel touched it, and now John Sheedy is going to take a sideline cut. There is 3 points between these.
For Portroe. I think it's a free for Portroe.
Okay, free for Portroe. My apologies. Thank you, James. John Sheedy has it. Might he drop it in? He does drop it in the edge of the square. Up they go for it. Man inside. Square ball. And it's going to be a free out for Cashel. They lead by 3. And that might have been last chance saloon for Portroe. Aaron Brown takes his time.
Yeah, you'd have to say the change in the game was when the red cards came. Portroe went on top before the red cards came. So that's a big momentum change after that first red card was given out.
A free for Aaron Brown takes it. We continue to play on, and the ball lands inside, and Portroe don't clear their lines, and Cashel have a chance, but they do clear their lines. Eventually it comes to Michael Breen. Michael Breen encouraged to get rid of the ball, but it's very hard to do that when you have 3 and 4 and 5 Cashel lads around you, and Cashel have won the free, and Breen I think has been told for either throwing it or over carrying it. Words to the referee. The referee brings the ball forward, and this is going to be a puck that'll put at least 2 scores between them.
Yeah, you'd say Cashel should see it out from here. Right now, yeah, they seem to be fairly comfortable in their back there, and obviously the amount of space they have in the forwards. Every time the ball goes up there, they seem to be getting a score. So you'd have to fancy Cashel now to see it out the game from here.
So Devin Ryan, who has been super with place ball, has all the time in the world here in the rag to put 4 points between them. It's currently 122 to 119 in favour of Portroe. This will put 2 scores between them if Devon puts it over the bar, and on the basis of what we've seen so far, there's nothing to suggest he isn't. You wouldn't want to be going looking for slitters if Devon Ryan's taking frees.
Portroe will be disappointed today. They've given a lot of frees to Devon. Devon has nearly 9 or 10 scores from frees got, so indiscipline now has cost Portroe big time today.
I really admire Portroe's battling qualities though. I really do. I think they've battled hard throughout this game, and Cashel just, as you say, the red cards perhaps turned the game. Anyway, the referee has blown for full time here in the rag. It's full time in the first round of Group 4 of the Seamus O'Rian Cup, and it's finished with a victory for Cashel King Cormacs. Portroe have led for most of the game, but Cashel got the upper hand, particularly when their goal went in. And Cashel King Cormacs 123, Portroe 119. I tell you what, James, that was a hell of an afternoon's entertainment.
That was a great game hurling their own, yeah. Obviously Cashel fought hard all day. They couldn't get in front until probably the red card came, and then they got back to a draw. But definitely the last 10 minutes they seemed well in control. After the 2 last red cards there, the extra man in the backs, and the likes of Owen Connolly and Ger Brown had a load of space in the forward, so they seemed to be well on top there for a finish. But Portroe, they will be disappointed. They were well on top there until the first red card. So, and as we mentioned all game, like indiscipline probably cost them. Devin Ryan, you can't give a free taker like that 10 or 11 chances to put the ball over the bar. So Portroe probably will be disappointed. And again, it makes the group now hard for them to get through if only 2 go through.
You know, it was even Steven all the way through, and it was the red cards, but Owen Connolly's goal, I thought that was the first time that it wasn't the first time Cashel led, but it was the first time they led by more than a point.
Yeah, for the whole way through, it was probably just a point or two in it either way. So that was, as you said, that was probably light between the two teams, and they saw it out from there. But yeah, Cashel will be delighted with that win. Obviously, they had 2 probably players injured, with Ger Brown with his hamstring injury and Owen Connolly with his hand, so they'll probably be more fit for the next game.
Yeah,
they obviously face St Mary's now. So the 2 boys should be back ready for that game in better condition. So you'd imagine Owen Connolly will go back to the 6th position, and Ger will be more mobile than he was today. But yeah, great start for Cashel.
Great start for Cashel. Great weekend of action in the first weekend of the County Championship. We hope you enjoyed the streaming service in association with the Tipperary County Board. And if you're listening on Tipp FM Radio, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast in association with Tipperary County Council. My thanks to everybody who put this together, the Healy team, always professional throughout. And indeed, thanks to Davin Toomey back at base on Tipp FM Broadcast Centre. This is Ronan Quirk and myself, James Barry, thanking you for your time this afternoon. A win for Cashel. They win on the first round of the Seamus Irene Cup. It's Cashel King Cormacs 123, Portroe 119. We'll say good afternoon and good luck.